Hello everyone, I'm here Dr. Purnima Bansal, MD Naturopath. Today here to tell you about the project proposal preparation. Next we will move on to the formulating hypothesis. So what is hypothesis? It gives a structure and direction to the research. And if we talk about hypothesis, the main two things are there, the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. What is null hypothesis? If you compare the method of A with B and both A and B are equal, so then assumption is null hypothesis. And if we talk about alternate hypothesis, if we think A is superior and B is inferior, so one is superior, one is inferior, that is the alternate hypothesis. Now we move on to methodology. It should be detailed because it's your guide how the study will be done. So it's very important. So first one is type of research study. So it can be RCT, randomized control trial, it can be descriptive study, it can be cross-sectional study. So whatever, there are so many number of studies, n number of studies, you have to just name that which one you are taking in your research project. Now second thing is the location where your surveys, your studies is going to be happen, that you have to mention. Next is the study population. Who are you to be included in your study and from which group of people? For example, if you are taking the pregnant ladies, so it's a group. So like that we have to just mention. And then comes the study period. The entire period from the starting to the end of the submission of research. So that food should be mentioned. It should be mentioned. Then comes the sample size. Sample size, how it has been arrived, how it is working out, it includes inclusion criteria, exclusion criteria and the consents, and consent should be specified, what is the need and type, it is written or verbal, that should be mentioned. Now next comes the data collection. So what information is going to be looked for and how it is going to be done. Now comes the types of research designs. According to AIMS, Sharma Nursing Research and Statistics, it is published in this is the second edition, and there are three types of research designs: quantitative, qualitative and the mixed. So if it comes to quantitative research designs, there are three types: the experimental research design, non-experimental research designs and the other additional research designs. So if we talk about experimental research designs, it is subdivided into the true experimental, quasi-experimental design and pre-experimental design. Then the non-experimental design is again subdivided into descriptive designs, correlational, developmental, epidemiological, survey research designs, and other research designs like methodological, meta-analysis, secondary data analysis, outcome research, evaluation studies and operational research. So if we talk about the main features, not going in depth for the research design, that I will make a different PowerPoint, a different video for the detailed explanation of research designs. Now we will just have a quick recap for how these are going to be worked. So experimental research designs, it has true, quasi and pre. So true experimental designs has another types like pre-test, Solomon 4 group design, randomized block design, factorial design, crossover design, set and square designs. So the manipulation of independent variables in the presence of control group and the randomization is there. In the quasi, it is non-randomized control group design and the time series designs. In this, manipulation of the independent variable is there, but there is absence of either randomization or the control group. Last one is pre-experimental design. It can be one-shot case design, one group pre-test post-test design. In this, manipulation of independent variable is there, but limited control over extraneous variables and no randomization and control group. Now we come to the non-experimental research designs. First one is the descriptive design. It has the accurate description of the characteristics of individual, situation of or group and the frequency with which a certain phenomena occurs in natural setting without imposing any control or manipulation. Next one is correlation or factorial design. It helps in examining the relationship between two or more variables in a natural setting without manipulation or control. So, if we talk about prospective, it's examining the relationship from cause to effect, and retrospective, examining relationship from effect to cause. So, this is a difference. Now, next one is developing research design. It can be cross-sectional design and longitudinal design. And if we talk about the cross-sectional, it helps in examining the phenomena only at one point in time, but longitudinal one have the more than one point in time. Next is epidemiological design, case control studies and cohort studies. The investigators of the distribution and causes of disease in a population is known as epidemiology. Survey research design. Survey studies are investigation in which self-reported data are collected from sample with the purpose of describing population on some variable of interest. These are the other research designs. Now we come to the qualitative. They are divided into ethnographic research, grounded theory, historical research, case study, action research, phenomenal research. So they are some features. The phenomenological research. It examines human experience through the description provided by people involved. Then ethnographic research. Ethnographic research involves information collected from the certain cultural groups by living with people of those groups and from their key informants who are believed to be most knowledgeable about the selected culture. Next comes the grounded theory. From a collection of data gathered by participants, observer, theory is developed accordingly. Then the case studies. Studying in depth about any case. It could be any event, a group, a distinct person or an institution. Then comes the historical research, orderly gathering of data and its objective evaluation belonging to the past occurrence to examine the hypotheses related to cause, effects and trends on this cause, which might help in explaining current events and expecting future events. Then comes the action research. Action research seeks actions to improve practices and study the effects of the action that was taken. I will explain nicely about the difference between the qualitative and the quantitative research as we have gone through that. So what is qualitative research? It has the induction effect. What is the purpose? Generates a theory from the observation, oriented to discovery and exploration. What is the procedure? It can be emergent design, merges data collection and analysis. Deduction is the purpose is test theory through the observation, oriented to cause and effect. Procedure will be query determined designs, separates data collection from the analysis. And if we talk about qualitative, it works subjectively, and if we talk about quantitative, it just work as objective. So purpose emphasizes meaning, interpretation in the subjective form, tries to understand others' perspectives. So in this, what will happen? The researcher will be more involved and it will be more close to the data. And the researcher itself is a research instrument. But in the quantitative research, it is it's not like that. The researcher will be very far, distant from the data, and it relies on the standardized protocols. The quantitative, it emphasizes generalization and replication and analyzes variables. Next comes the trial profile. It's a flow chart of the progress through the phases of a parallel randomized trial of two groups. That is randomized trial of the two groups. So how many numbers are taken and how number of people are taken, subjects are to be taken, and then it should be excluded. How? We have some criteria of the research. So if they are not accepting the particular criteria, they are not coming into the criteria, that they will be excluded, and some people will be refused. Some have some problem, so they will refuse to come into the study, so that will be excluded. And other reasons, like people have some other reasons also, that can be excluded. Then people, how many people will be left? Then we will divide accordingly. The n is like a number of the people. So we will take we will give any intervention or any treatment for the patient. Then we will analyze. Analysis have different kinds of analysis is there. Then we will analyze that. And Now we come to the budget. The budget is a line item tabular representation of the expenses associated with the proposal of project. So budget justification contains more in depth detail of the cost behind the lines item. So what it's I'll just explain you. Like we have to make a tabular form, and what we have to do for whatever is the expenditure is there. Like for example, you are some books you are taking, some whatever it is there, you have to just write those in the tabular form, and you can have a budget.
Other points will be discussed in series 3. So stay connected, like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you.